I hope everybody's having a great day out there. I'm having a fantastic day also. I'm going to be telling you about the money I've been making, the trades we've been taking, and even how on this week, Monday, I was out traveling. I was out on the Oregon coast with family. I flew my sister out there with our airplane, and then we went surfing. And then on Monday, markets opened up, and I'm having a great time with a great time out there surfing, having all of that. Okay, that looks good. I was just getting a little bit of a red here situation here real quick. But yeah, then made my second best trading day on Monday. Who would have guessed? And I was just on my laptop with my travel screen. So just wanted to put everything out there. I'll show you that. I'll go through that, everything else. But for what you guys are looking here, go to, and because I'm going to be talking about this, I have a webinar coming up tonight, this evening. So if you go to www.simplertrading.com/typical, I'm going to be talking about this and kind of in one way how my family had all their money with a typical investment firm, as many of us do. And I think the reason why we're here, the reason we're looking at us on this and looking at the markets and doing all this stuff is because we want to handle our money. Whether we don't trust them, or maybe they haven't performed well, or we think we can do better, or we just want to do it ourselves because, well, we like to and we think it's fun and we want to take things into our own hands. Well, when the market started going down, my family's money all went down lockstep with the market, and it was atrocious, really. I thought them being a firm and a hedge fund or whatever, that they would go do something. I thought there were smart people working there, and I thought they'd move their money. And I started looking into some of the positions they had, and it really ticked me off, some of the positions that they had for my family, and that there was no defense, there was nothing they could do about what the market was doing, and it made me upset and frustrated. So we've been moving some money around. Basically, I started trading all my family's money, and I have now surpassed the losses that they had from all of that. So I've been taking care of it. I'm helping people out there in the class, in the rooms, and trading all that stuff. And so I want to be able to show what it is I'm doing and how I'm doing this. Sean, yep, this is for the class. Well, this right here is registering for the webinar. Then I'm kind of going to show you my $100,000 day, then my $80,000 day, which I just had on Monday. I'll show you a little bit of that. And then, this is kind of to explain what it is I'm going to be doing and what I do, how I trade, and all that. And then, yes, I have a class August 8th, which is this Saturday, if you guys want to sign up for that. So go look at that. I'm going to be, it's going to be like a 4 or 5 hour class where I get in there and I teach everything about how I make the money that I do. So one of the things we'll go into, let me just show you this. So this is going to be I kind of updated the title slide. I hope you guys find that amusing, but I updated the title slide for what I did. So last Wednesday, I gave this presentation. It's how I adapted after the COVID crash and made $100,000 in a single day because I adapted. Then this last Monday, like two days ago, made $80,000 on Monday in a single day, doing the same thing. So I just want to be able to show you guys what I do, how I do it. So if you guys want to, today, August 5th, I'm going to be giving this webinar, this presentation. So there's that. And then here is a screenshot from Monday. I think everything is all blurred out where needed. But yeah, here is that. You can see here was the 82,000. That was 12%. Now, not all the accounts, actually, this one's funny. It was half that size. So, same number, different principal on that one. But generally, I trade my accounts the same and all that stuff. So just wanted to show you these are all the various accounts I trade, and you can see that they all had a really, really good day on Monday. So we're going to be talking about that as well. Yep, Sean, good. Glad to see you guys are already signed up, playing with your scans, all that. So good. Happy to hear that. So let's kind of talk about the market, see what's going on. Or maybe, actually, let me do that real quick. CODX is where I made the big bucks on Monday. So look at this. We're going to be diving deep tonight and then also in the class on Saturday about how we got this. We got in here. We took a little bit off here. And then I think it was here we added more. And then right there, it just bounced right off of the hourly 50 and then boom. Yeah, it just went straight up. And I was telling people, like, you better start buying in here. And then sure enough, on Monday, gap up and, go. Now, we did take a little bit off because it's prudent. That's how you got to pay yourself. You want to make sure just in case anything happens. So we took a little bit off here, and so far it hasn't really done too much. So I'm going to give it a little bit of time, see where things go, and see what's happening with that. Now, let's kind of get into the market. We'll see where we're at, if I can spell it correctly. Now, great news, we ever since we had the FOMC come out, which was a bit of a headache, as usually is, and then we had earnings. We had what, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Google, Microsoft. We had a whole bunch of earnings come out, and basically, I think everything except for Google responded very, very well to earnings, and that's what propelled the market higher. So love that. Good news. It was a little tricky because this is when earnings came out. So for the SPY, it actually all got sold into. I was taking a little bit of a hedge, not a bearish stance, but just in case, it really wanted to tank something for some reason real quick. I wanted to make sure that we at least had some defense. And then at the end of the day, holy cow, big turnaround. That was a pretty clear sign, but just in case it was a trick, I kept on my UVXY, which wasn't responding in the same way. I think a lot of people were wondering and thinking it might have been a trick. And so that's what we did. And then, big gap up, and look, it just held beautifully right there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I was looking for maybe a pullback, but you know what? I'll take a flag sideways any day. And it came right into the 15-minute 50. Moxie indicator still looking good here. Now, just because all this looks good doesn't mean that it, can't throw us for a loop. Just keep in mind, we've had some pretty good days these last couple days, right? And in this market, they don't tend to stay up there very long. We have some really, really good days, and then we tend to pull back pretty hard. So whenever that might be, but we are kind of getting up there. I have some metrics. I have some ways that I can kind of see that it's up there. I mean, clearly it looks that way, but I also have some tools and some repeatable things and patterns that I like to use to help determine this, and when we maybe need to, work our way out and really, build some defenses. Yeah, so Sean's saying that the trade that I took with everybody, and that's the thing, I take these trades, I take them personally, and I make sure that they're out there, and you guys take them. He said, yeah, paid for the live trading for the class and for the year in the Moxie group. So this is the kind of stuff we're talking about. Legally purposes, I can't promise anything about making money, but our whole point, our intention of doing this is to help you pay for classes, to help you pay for education, to help you, grow your account. I mean, I'm making money. You guys are seeing exactly how I trade. I take the same trades, so if I'm making money, then generally everybody else should be doing all right out there. But there are no promises, got to be safe like that. Now let's look at the Qs, see how they're doing. They're making out new highs, which is fantastic. You can see that I had a line up here, because where did price gap up to on Monday? Right there, which was, a triple top. So I was just concerned. Sometimes in this market, they go up and come right back down. But it wanted to bounce off the 15-minute 50, which is good. But again, we're still kind of getting up there. So we need to be a little bit careful, a little bit cautious, and see what's going to be happening on there. Now, let me show you one other thing, because I'm looking at, and then I think this is an important place to go, as far as information-wise with your trading and what's going on with the markets, the economy, and opportunities. So has anybody been watching the gold and dollar and kind of crypto space? Teresa, good to see you. So UUP, which is the dollar, and I'm sure Ragi has been talking all about this because this is definitely her area, and futures and forex and currency and stuff. So I'm sure Ragi has been talking a bunch about this. But look at the dollar. The dollar has been falling off of a cliff. I'm sure basically it's because the Fed is printing dollars, so the strength of dollar is going down, and we're just kind of looking at this and be like, ooh, okay. So what happens when the dollar goes down? Precious metals go up, usually because of defense and places to put your money, but because of the cost. The cost of precious metals go down. Dollar goes down, value of gold goes up. It gets cheaper, so it can get, more people can buy it up there. So then you look at GLD, and yeah, I would imagine most of you guys are probably familiar with this move and what's been happening. So, John Carter's been talking about this. He's like, is this thing totally gone? Like, is there a way to get in? Well, you got to be careful about how to get in. But he thinks that there's a lot more to go. I wouldn't be surprised because this looks like a pretty big train to be on. And this last little blip that it had was basically coming into the hourly 50 in a continuation. You can see actually right here, bounced off the 15-minute 50 as well. And then there's our positive divergence on the 15-minute time frame for Moxie. And we are sky high as far as energy levels on the Moxie indicator. So there might be a lot of energy left on this. Silver SLV, this thing has been going bonkers. You know, as it usually is talked about that silver tends to catch up to gold. So gold starts moving and then silver's like, oh crap, don't leave without me. And then it wants to get up there. And so silver has been playing catch up. And it might be playing catch up in a bigger way too, you know, on the monthly, weekly charts. So take your pick what you want to do on something like this. Then what I've been looking at, look at Bitcoin. Here is GBTC, which is the ETF of Bitcoin, and it gave a beautiful setup. And we traded this. We are still in it. We took some profits, but we're still in it. You can see here, there's a double bottom. You can see that double bottom here, and there's the divergence. So if you guys are looking for tools and how to trade these things and look for really good setups, again, you know, I trade really only using the Moxie indicator. It is my primary tool. It's how I've gotten to where I am. It's how I got here to Simpler, and it's how I teach people, and it's how I make money. But you can see right here, there's the Moxie price trigger. So this is the stuff that I'm talking about. This is what I'm going to be going on with the class on Saturday. If you guys are interested, like, okay, how do we do this? I'm going to walk you through it, you know, step by step. I'm going to hide nothing about it. But we got in there and then took a little bit off there, and now it's up here again. At some point, I'll be wanting to phase out a little bit on even Bitcoin and look for a re-entry. How about another one? Look at RIOT. Now, RIOT has been tricky. It moves a lot. It's jagged. You know, it's not the smoothest thing. It took me a couple tries to get into it, but now I'm making some good money with it. But you can see basically here's your level, and notice that we have positive Moxie divergence. I mean, this is what's telling you. This indicator is telling me that there is stuff coming in there. There's energy that's coming in here. I better start looking at this along with what I call a trampoline move here on the daily chart. Price below the 50, the Moxie indicator above 0. My number one setup is the trampoline move. It's how I just made the $100,000 on the other one. It's how I made $80,000 on Monday, and it's how I'm making some good money on this one even today. And then look at this. How about right here, RIOT? You want to see a trampoline move? Right there. There's a trampoline move. Price below the 50, Moxie indicator above 0, trampoline move. And then we got some really, really good moves. It's on volume. Now again, I led the Moxie subscribers into this one because I tried to trade it a couple times. I was like, you know, it's a little challenging. And then people are like, hey, you know, are you seeing that move? Like, we want in. Can you help us find a way in? Like, what are we doing? Let's trade RIOT. I'm like, all right, fine. If you guys want to trade RIOT, I'll go trade RIOT. Let's go figure it out. You know, take matters into your own hands. Let's see what we can do. And so I watched this thing. You know, on Monday, this thing had really moved up here, and it's outside 30 ATR and all this stuff. It's really just pretty crazy. I thought, okay, let's give it a day, see where it settles, see what happens. And sure enough, by yesterday, so today's Wednesday, so yesterday, Tuesday, which was the 4th, which was my mom's birthday, you can see here it flagged just right into an uptrending 15-minute 50, and basically everything else looked pretty good. And then let me show you one little detail down here. Let's see, I have so many icons going up here. There we go. Okay, so 5-minute. Look at yesterday, 5-minute. See what happened? Moxie indicator up, 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 and at 0, so crossing over 0. And then look, price got on top of and then tapped the 5-minute 50. You know, we're down in the sand. You know, we're down in the weeds, really playing in some small stuff, but the move was there. Look at the 2-minute. Here's the 2-minute setup. And look at that volume we had today, right? Oof. So look at this thing right there. Got on top of the 2-minute 50, the 2-minute 200, the Moxie indicator above 0. Everything looked good. So, yep, the subscribers were asking for it. I said, okay, I think we are on time with it. Let's do this. And this thing is opened up with 20%. Let's see where it actually ran to today. So we got in there, and right now we're at 25%. And I'm probably going to start phasing some of this stuff out because, I think earnings are tomorrow. I don't like to trade earnings, and I rather just kind of be out for some of this stuff. And this thing has gone vertical over the course of 3 days. So you got to know when to pay yourself. But it's coming close to where I'm going to be shaving some off, and then we'll talk about and see if we want to do anything for earnings about that. But so I think if you guys are interested, the crypto space seems to be also going along with the gold and the precious metals space. So if you guys want to be looking into that, that would basically be my stronger suggestion on that. Okay, We've got another few minutes left. Let me know what you guys are looking at. I don't want to be taking up too much of your time on other things that kind of, have already moved for now, but keep an eye on them in the future because I think that this is a new something that's happening. I mean, really, just look at gold and silver and maybe think about cryptos and what they're going to be doing. Let's see, JMIA. This thing was stellar. We got, I want to say 42%, which is is nothing compared to what this thing ended up doing. So definitely kicking myself for leaving some on the table with that. But holy cow, we had all that, not confusion, but we had a lot of noise with earnings and the FOMC. So I just kind of took some off because I thought 42% was good. Apparently not. This thing just kept screaming. Look at this thing. It just kept following the 15-minute 50. Now, at some point, of course, it's going to come back down. It's going to break. When's it going to do that? I typically say 15-minute 50. So, you would have given some back, but right there would have kept you safe. Otherwise, you just set a stop where, well, how much are you willing to give back? And I think that's a pretty good way to do something. At some point, this thing is just getting excessive. Now, the cat's out of the bag. I'm not going to be trading earnings, but the cat is out of the bag on this one. So we will be trading this one again and again and again in the future as it starts setting up for us. All right, then CRM. Yep, I've been looking at that one. I like it. Now, I've been talking about this morning how, the market is really up there and it might need to take a little bit of a breather or a little bit of a break. And this is kind of, along those same lines. So CRM, I'm sure there will be no new highs. I don't see any reason why this thing won't keep going or it should break out from here. But I don't know if it's going to do it from this point, if that makes sense. So kind of like this, and I don't think it's going to be this drastic, but it's up here. I mean, look at where price is, look at where the hourly 50 is. Does it really look like this thing could really just keep going up from here? Or does it look like maybe it could do this and then that? And I'm going a little bit more on that line. Part of the reason I'm saying that is because look at that distance between price and the 8 EMA. I just don't see it trucking along from up here. So if you're in it and you're in it from a good spot, definitely keep it. Nathan, I see you were asking that. So yeah, if you're in it from a good spot, stay in. Maybe add more on a dip, but I would not be initiating a position here. Could be wrong, but doesn't seem like the most ideal place to initiate. So just kind of keep that in mind and look for better lower entry opportunities to get in. Then AVGO, let's see what's happening with that one. Kind of the same thing. Great moves. Great moves. I typically say, hey, as long as you can follow the 15-minute 50 initially, you're good. But boy, this thing is starting to pull away from the hourly chart. It's way up there. So depending on what your time frame is, if you have some really short-dated options that if this thing goes down, it's going to really hurt you, then maybe start paying yourself. If you have longer term or if you're in stock and maybe you're in from down here, maybe take a little off, but then you can add more when it comes back down. But that's kind of what I'm seeing right there. So let me kind of just circle back again for those of you who are just joining us and wherever. We've got a lot of things we're going to be posting in the room here. But I'm doing another webinar tonight, and I've got some fresh information for it. In fact, let me show you the title slide to this because, it's kind of, I think it's kind of funny. But last Wednesday, I did this presentation about how I made $100,000 in a day using just stock. And then on this Monday, like 2 days ago, I made $80,000 in one day on Monday. So I'm going to be showing you what I do, the tools, the tricks, everything that I do about this. And then there is a class that I'm going to be doing about 4 or 5 hours worth on Saturday. So if you guys want to sign up for that, I'm going to hold nothing back. I'm going to be showing exactly what's going on in this market. This is my best year so far. I mean, I know it's crazy, but this year has been insane. But there's a lot of stuff happening with the market. I've had to kind of adapt and figure out what's going on with it. I think I have because I'm making more money now than I ever have been, and we just need to capture those things. So there is no shortage of opportunities right now, but it's tricky. It's a little bit difficult out there, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. So come here, simplertrading.com/typical, because I talk about how my family had had their money with a typical investment firm, and their money went down lockstep with the market when the COVID crash happened. So I said, screw this, I don't like what's happening here. This is my job. I might as well do this for them. And so we've been moving some money, and I've now been trading their money. And since the COVID crash, like the market's not even up to where it used to be. Since the COVID crash, I have more than surpassed the money that they've lost, and now we're definitely into the green. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about and showing everybody. So go do that. Here's another little image of my Monday. So pretty good day on that one. It was a 12% day, 82,000 for that one. And then you just take, even a 12.85, smaller accounts, smaller dollars, but you look at the percentage, 10%, 10%, and then I guess I was going half size on these, but those look pretty good. Those are solid, and I trade just stock. So that's the kind of fun stuff I want to be showing you guys how I do it, what I do, and if you're not a Moxie subscriber, then come check me out because we're making money out there. Legal purposes, no guarantees, but we're having a good time out there, and I want to help you pay for the class, essentially. So come out there, learn some more stuff, and let's go take advantage of this market. All right, everyone, thanks again. I will talk to you later, and see you tonight.